Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Dyser. I'm here with my Damie Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Layne. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a few health and wellness stories to cover today. I'd like to start with something we haven't really talked about yet, and it's kind of going through around the internet right now, and I want to get your opinion on it. How would you define, personally, clean eating?
I would have paid money if you had said, "Who is Becky with the good hair?" I would have...
What?
Never mind.
What does that even mean?
Shout out to everyone that knows what I'm talking about.
What's Becky with the good hair?
Don't worry about it. Continue.
What is clean eating? What does eating clean mean to you? This is a big question. I mean, people try and define it all the time, but we've talked about it before. But really, what is it from your perspective?
It is just a whole foods, as natural as possible, as undisturbed as possible, as organic as possible, as local as possible, well-rounded diet.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just everything that isn't a made-up thing.
So, in other words, avoiding processed foods is a major part of what you would say.
That's right.
It's and in your view, and I like the way you put it because it's such a reflection of your personality. It's as much, and in terms of much, it's just a blank, as possible.
Right.
As clean as possible would
right.
be your definition of eating clean. So, avoiding processed foods, as much vegetables as possible.
Always as much fruit and vegetables as possible. You know, as much perimeter of grocery stores or just fresh food markets and as little boxed or canned things as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
You know, and always leave room to evolve. That's how I find like things are like either a lifestyle, a way of life, or a manic, like thing that's only going to last a few weeks and then you'll get burnt out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
how do you avoid that? I mean, what's your...
Just not heading into things trying to be so perfect. Not being hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And as you learn something isn't great or, something's mistaken in your diet, just eliminating it instead of going, well, to hell with it. I might as well just go buy a tub of Ben & Jerry's and sit down and eat it because I'm a failure.
Right.
That's just dramatic and victimization and the whole thing. So it's about, and the reason I even say it is, again, I'm not calling out other people. I'm saying that's who I was. Mm-hmm. I'd find out something I was doing was bad for me and then I'd be like, well, I can't win.
Right.
I'm just a loser. And then I'd go do something horrible. It's just so crazy. So it's just doing your very best and focusing on as natural, as whole, as pure, as good as you can get your hands on.
Well, it's interesting you went that way because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. This idea that people are scared of orthorexia, or this concept of eating clean and getting obsessed with it and then falling off track and going one way or the other. One way is, I have to eat this way or else I'm going to get anxiety or I'm going to feel a certain way. The other way is, oh, I've screwed up, it's over. Let's just eat whatever. Orthorexia currently doesn't have a definition in the DSM, but it's a common term used around, basically talking about one spectrum or the other. And we've all been there in some way. We're eating or following a plan, we're doing great, and then all of a sudden we go off the rails.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel? And what do you do in that situation? And what do you recommend people consider?
So it's twofold for me. It's first taking your power back. So people, like the other day, and you can listen to yesterday's episode, I think it's called something in Vegan Trolls, but
Omega-3s and vegan internet trolls. Yeah, episode 70.
Right. So I said I follow a vegan diet. Now, the definition of the word diet is the collective sum, the whole, the majority, the what you consume, what it all is, rounded up.
And that has been clarified. That has been defined.
That is what it is. Now, companies have, in the last few decades, taken it and turned it into a diet is like a limited, short-term, blah, 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 means to lose weight. Now, I don't let companies or people take my words from me. So someone told me off because they think that I was using diet as in what they believe society has made the word diet into. And I'm not going to stop using it, so everyone has to get over it. I have a diet. You have a diet. Anyone that eats food has a diet. Mm-hmm. It's the collective sum of whatever you're shoving in your mouth. That's your diet, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, taking your power back in those ways. So, eliminating the idea of what companies try to tell you a diet is, and understand that your diet is just the collective sum of what you eat. Mm-hmm. That's just it. So, take your power back that way. And then take your power back as in work on the victimization thing. It's not a punishment to lose weight, and it's not a reward to lose weight. That takes away, like, the manicness of being perfect in eating on this perverse word diet and then failing. It's, right? So, take the power back with what your diet is. It's just the collective sum of what you consume. Mm-hmm. And then forget being a victim. Let it go. Losing weight isn't going to make you better. It's not going to make you, it's not going to add anything to what you already are. Can it unveil more latent potential within you because you let go of this obsessive, thought pattern that creeps in, or this thing that makes you feel small or holding yourself in this encasement? Sure. But not until you understand that it's not an abusive thing.
Yeah, and it's important that you bring that up, because oftentimes when we're on a journey where we need to lose a few pounds or whatever, the mindfulness is lost. The living in the moment is lost. It's looking towards the future and how things are going to be better, how things are going to be different.
Right, and it's remembering that thing of no matter what your physical circumstances or how you relate to them are at this moment, you are absolutely perfect, and then there's more. So if it would be healthier for you mentally, physically, emotionally to have less body fat on your body or more muscle, then that's what will take place when you consistently focus on those things, the positive things.
That's why I really like gratitude exercises, and it seems so simple, and I talk about this all the time. But I just really think it's powerful because it sets you up for further success.
100%, and you're not focused on the negative, like, I need to lose weight, I wish I looked good naked, I wish I could wear a bikini, that's the negative, that's the perverse word diet that's been put into society.
And you can be driven that way, don't get me wrong.
No, but not through that. The way that if you want to look good, better, more confident naked, is the way you look in the mirror and you're like, I could raise my tush a bit, I could bring my waist in a bit, I'd like to see my arms more lean, I'm gonna do that. Right. See you soon. That's where you come from.
That's your self-challenge.
You don't go from, I wish I looked like those girls at the beach. I suck. I'm going to go eat nachos and beer.
Right.
I'm not as good in society. A man wouldn't want me. If you go from any of those low vibration motivations, A, it's not going to last. B, it's going to breed negativity. It's your ego. But there's no shame in, I always want everyone to go for the deeper, like wanting to look good, feel super confident naked or wear a bikini like a queen. That's fine. But let's also go a bit deeper. I want to feel light. I want to wake up in the morning without a worry about my physical self. I want to have reliance that I feel strong and fit. I can go into my closet and pick anything out any day of the week and feel good in it. You know what I mean? Like, those are the things. Like, I don't want to weigh my family down with my bullshit about my crying about my weight anymore. I want to run with my kids. I want to go to the swimming pool with my child and not think about my own physical self and actually watch my child in the sunshine and giggle and laugh and be silly and, like, actually live in the moment. I don't want to waste any more time beating myself up for something that I'm not. Those are the motivations that stick. And they give the aha moments that you can't come back from, and it's only going to push you forward. It's
the same thing with elite athletes.
Yes.
You're looking at the greater good. What is possible? Where is my potential? It's not, I'm the worst at this.
No.
There's no elite athletes who once said, I'm the worst. They're not.
Or they hit the bottom. They said they're the worst. They took a real clean look at what's going on, and then they get up.
The resilience.
Bottoming isn't terrible if it's from a humble way. I've bottomed many times about many things, and I use the term, I think embarrassment is good. Mm-hmm. Embarrassment has served me really, really well. When I've actually let myself get embarrassed about my actions and the things I've created in my life, I've had a good hard cry. I've got really, really embarrassed. I've owned my shit, moved out of, victimization, and then I've moved forward like a boss.
Because you're confident about the ability to move forward, that you can be better.
Well, there's nowhere but up to go.
Right.
And if everyone understands that, if you put positive action, if you eat healthy, if you work out, if you have a good night's sleep, if you fill your mind with loving thoughts, if you're kind to others, if you connect with nature, if you just do it and let go of the result, they are going to come. There's nowhere but up to go. And you have to surrender and just do what you got to do until the results are there. And stop peeking. And I always use the thing, planting seeds in the ground. You plant seeds, you water the plant, and you let it go and you expect it to grow. You don't, day 5, go, you know what?
This plant.
What? I don't trust this plant's going to grow. I'm a bad person. I've never had a plant grow before, so why would it grow? I've never seen
Well, that is a bit true for you.
I've never heard as... I'm on a roll with my plants right now, by the way.
Little plant shade.
But, I've never seen another person in my family have good plants. I don't trust that these are growing. I don't see any results. Mm-hmm. I'm going to dig these seeds up. Well, you dig those seeds up and you're never going to have a plant. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to let those roots form. You have to have some faith. You just keep watering the plant. You feed it what it needs. You give it its sun. You give it its shade. You do the things that have to do. Yeah. And then the plant comes. And that's life. That's life in a nutshell.
Exactly. And your metaphor is mindful. It's in the moment. But it's contributing to your long-term wellness. It's like this idea of eating clean. On your program, it's a lifestyle.
Well, and a lot of people contact me. I've had, once a week, I probably have someone contact me that's been on the program for 2 weeks. And, some people, I tell people don't weigh in for 2 weeks because so many shifts happen in your body. Mm-hmm. It's just, here's people that have, over years gained body fat, or years let their muscles lax, or years, whatever, haven't done what they needed to do, right? Yeah. So, and maybe they've been coming off of extreme, quote unquote, dieting. Mm-hmm. So they're used to something where you drink liquid for a week and your scale says you're down 10 pounds, and you believe that. So 2 weeks in, some people contact me and they're down 8 pounds, something magical, and they're like thrilled. Some people contact me and they're down 1 pound, 2 pounds, and they're like, I bawled my eyes out after I weighed in. Mm-hmm. I can't believe I worked this hard. I've actually committed to something for the first time in my life. I actually did workouts. I'm tired. I'm sore. I can't have pizza with my husband. And you're telling me this was all for 1 or 2 pounds?
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Right, but is it? Because I'll tell you what, being down 1 or 2 genuine pounds of body fat is killing it.
There's an outlook.
That's
like
awesome.
And you're so right. I
mean, because with fat diets, when you see those big numbers on the scale, it's dehydration. Yeah. It's muscle wasting. And
it just comes right back.
And it's not real. It's not body.
If you've cut actual pounds of fat, that's long term.
In 2 weeks after not doing the right thing we all know it doesn't take 2 weeks to get in the messes we put ourselves in. Like, you're winning.
Yeah.
So, again, drop your sob story. We're all out here working hard. The first 2 weeks are the hardest. We are tired. We are sore. The adjustments suck. We're having cravings. We're all there. But to say, to take away from your own success that 1 or 2 pounds isn't valid, I'm not gonna let you do it.
I know. And everyone is so different too. Like these examples, I've got 3 people right now, 3 patients actually, who are doing your program for medical reasons and have dropped 15 pounds in 4 weeks. And this is 3 examples. It's just insane. Some people can lose weight so quickly, and some people it takes some time. But you're right that if you're getting a pound a week of actual fat cells,
that's a foundation
that's a lot. Really.
You can't shake that foundation.
No.
That's not the type of foundation where you go on vacation and you gain 10 pounds.
Right.
Or you go to a birthday party and you eat cake and you're up 8. That's not that.
That's a little different. Yeah.
This is transformational foundation. Like, there's a reason that my program is for at least 3 months. Mm-hmm. real transformation takes time, and it's not magic beans. It's real.
It's not magic green coffee beans. No, it's not magic beans. And what I'm trying to get at here is that your program is a lifestyle. I mean, it's something that people can do forever.
That's how we live.
It is how we live. I know, and
know.
It's so effective, and it ties in this idea of clean eating, and your core recommendations have been the outskirts of the grocery store, the perimeter, right? The perimeter, avoiding processed foods.
The majority of things that we buy are vegetables, followed by fruit. Mm-hmm. Then followed by beans and legumes.
Beans and legumes, exactly.
And then we have some healthy fats. We have a rotation of seeds.
Yeah.
Lately, especially with being pregnant, I've been more conscious about adding like a protein powder to my smoothies or hemp seeds. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, there's really not much more going on.
No, and it's about being varied. It's about having lots of choices and making it
Switching
easy
it
on
up.
yourself. Yeah.
Switching it up. And like sometimes I feel like, especially when we're starting out on a new lifestyle, we have to let go of the idea that like every meal should be like a theater act that we all want to clap at the end of.
Yeah, true.
Like sometimes when you're eating healthy, you have to get more in the mindset at first, especially when you're shifting, about just fueling your body and nourishing your body, and stop acting like food is there for this big entertainment that needs to entertain me every meal. Right. It's delusional. It's something we've been fed by media again. Yeah. Sometimes we're just fueling and satisfying.
Mm-hmm. If you need to just mix up some hummus and put it on some lettuce and add veggies to it, I mean, that's it.
I mean, in the summer,
that's pretty much it.
David and I, in the summer, we are busy. We end up, because of the daylight being longer, we end up working ridiculously late. We end up just running around a lot of the times like a chicken with our heads cut off. And so at the end of the day, I'm not in the mood to then perform some magic act in the kitchen. So a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll already have hummus I've made, or I will whip up fresh hummus, and I will literally take every fruit and vegetable basically that's in our fridge currently. I will clean it, chop it up, put it on a huge platter, put romaine lettuce, what we call wraps, but they're just romaine lettuce leaves, a great big spoon in the hummus, and we sit down and we have lettuce wraps.
Yeah, we just fill up on veggies really.
Yeah, and when you're eting fish, sometimes you'll add fish to it. Mm-hmm. If neither of us have had a lot of calories within the day, we'll treat ourselves with maybe a few dates chopped up in there. But I put bell peppers, I put pickles, I put hot peppers, I put cauliflower, broccoli, cucumber. I mean, apples, everything, and I just chop it up, put it all on a platter, and I mean, we'll eat that for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great.
And I mean,
it's not fancy.
It's not like it's gonna win awards, but it's super satisfying. It's super filling. We're never,
Yeah, and you can't really go overboard on it.
Oh, you eat until you're full, and then you're good. And I mean, and not only that, the next morning you wake up, and especially in the warm months, you are so lean.
Yeah, you do feel lean.
Oh, I feel good and energized.
Yeah. And the other thing about this is we were talking about this concept of orthorexia. When you're on a program, you're starting something, or you're eating healthy, or you're eating clean, whatever you're doing, and you fall off, you don't then be hard on yourself. You don't then track one way or track the other way, like we talked about the two different directions.
No. There's a different...
Your most common thing is, forget it, jump back on. It's all good.
So what I always try to describe to people, and sometimes it's hard for people to set in their minds, but if you can understand the concept of being unconditionally loving to yourself, the same way you would be to, a lot of the times using a child or someone you adore and see no flaws in, like a best friend or a grandparent or whatever, the way that you would treat them if they felt like they failed, but at the same time, being firm. Mm-hmm.
And resilient too.
Because you can't every day fall off and say, it's okay, I love you, it's all good. Like, you need to love yourself enough and fiercely enough that it's like, that's cool that this happened today, but it's not going to happen tomorrow, honey, because we want to create an amazing future. Like, you need to be like a tiger mom with yourself as well. So it's unconditional love married with fierce loyalty to a better future.
Right. That's excellent.
I guess.
I guess. No, it's powerful and so motivating. Thank you so much for sharing. That's Healthy Rebel Radio for today. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Layne has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at damihealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.